Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and today I am a very excited boy, because this is one of the most exciting days of the year. This is one of the half a dozen days of the year where we get a new Pokémon TCG set. It's Temporal Forces, and it's largely what we expected, and it is awesome. It is releasing on the 22nd of March, and as a side note, and I don't have time to go into it in huge detail here, so you're just going to have to trust me for now, and then I'll explain it more in a video later, but this basically confirms that we will be getting the rotation coming into effect on the first day of the European International Championships. That's not actually been announced yet, but now that we got the set coming in on the 22nd, that is as good as confirmed. Of course, it is weird that we are getting a set on March the 22nd, because generally speaking, we get a February set. Now, last year we got a March set, but it was Scarlet and Violet base, it was a new block. It made sense that that would come a little bit later, being a new block. This one still coming in March is frankly weird. But here's what they said in the press release. The Pokémon Company International announced today that the next expansion in the best-selling Pokémon TCG, Scarlet and Violet Temporal Forces, will launch at participating retailers around the world beginning March 22nd, 2024. First introduced in the Black and White series, A-Spec cards will return to the Pokémon TCG in Temporal Forces as initially announced during the 2023 Pokémon World Championships. A-Spec cards have powerful effects, but each deck will be limited to only one A-Spec card. Furthermore, A-Spec cards in Temporal Forces will feature a new eye-catching magenta design and can appear as trainer or special energy cards. And this is something we kind of figured out, but this is the first time we've had it actually confirmed that they are going to be limited to trainer or special energy, which is kind of cool. The upcoming expansion will also feature new Pokemon, including Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. Well, we've seen those EXs, we knew that. Originally introduced in the Scarlet and Violet video games, trainers will also see new Ancient and Future Pokemon and trainer cards, as well as more type-shifted Terra Pokemon EXs. And then we've had confirmation of 7 A-Spec, 13 EX, 2 Terra EXs, 22 Illustration Rare, 10 Special Illustration Rares, and 6 Hyper Rare Gold Etched cards. Awesome! Sounds like a plan. Now, we actually do have a bunch of information here because we've seen some of this over in Japan. Because this is largely going to be the mashing together, or not even really mashing together. This is largely going to be the double Japanese set, Cyberforce and Wild Judge. Remember, sometimes we get a Japanese mini set coming in. That is not the case here. The only mini set Japan have had is Shiny Treasures EX, which we are getting largely as Paldean Fates. Not exactly the same, but a similar kind of thing. So there is no mini set to be brought in here like we do sometimes have. It is largely going to be that set over in Japan. Now, in terms of the 7 A-Specs here, we actually know 4 of them. I predicted there were going to be 5. It turns out there are going to be 7. So that's 3 in Cyber Judge, 3 in Wild Force. And the fact that we're getting all 7 confirms that we are going to be getting Master Ball, because they don't do an uneven... When it's a double set like this, they don't do uneven splits. If there's 7, then there's 3 in one set, 3 in another set, 1 from somewhere else. And that somewhere else is the Koraidon and Miraidon decks, which are coming out in Japan at the same time. They both have Master Ball in, and that means that's our 7 A-Specs. 3 from Cyber Judge, 3 from Wild Force, and then Master Ball from here. And if we're getting Master Ball from these decks, it means these decks are coming in, and we should be getting the other cards from those decks, including Koraidon and Miraidon. Now, that's not confirmed yet. It might be confirmed in something I read in a minute, but the general rule here is quite simple. If they bring in some cards from the set, then they generally bring in the rest of the cards from the set. That is the way they have always done this. So expect to have them in as well, and like I said, there is no mini set here, so bringing in those 2 decks is what brings this up a little bit to a regular size set. Good? Good. Now, we don't have a huge amount of information in terms of everything here, but we do have a bunch of stuff confirmed. So we know a bunch of the EXs. We are going to be getting Walking Wake, but we're actually getting that entire trio of Walking Wake, Gouging Fire, and Raging Bolt, because they're all in Wild Force in Japan. They're going to be over here. And similarly, we are getting the entire trio of Iron Leaves, Iron Boulder, and Iron Crown. So those are 6 of the EXs which have essentially been confirmed. But again, we can also assume we're getting the new Koraidon and Miraidon as well. So actually there's 8 of the EXs straight away, which is nice, frankly. That is nice. As a quick side note on ace specs, the other ace specs that we know are coming are Neo Superior Energy and Prime Catcher. And actually the new one that was revealed this morning, Hero's Cape. And the energy is just 2 of any energy on any stage 2 EX or otherwise. The Hero's Cape gives you an extra 100 HP with no downside. But honestly here, everyone's just going to play Prime Catcher. Like, everyone is going to play Prime Catcher. It is just gusting. In fact, it's actually just old Pokemon Catcher. When Pokemon Catcher originally came around and it was just an item card that could be used whenever without anything else, it's that, but you can only have one in your deck. And not to spoil the surprise too much, everyone's going to be playing that. That is by far the best ace spec, and it's not just the best of the 4 we've seen so far, it's so far ahead it's hard to imagine what they're going to do to bring in any others that are going to actually be challenging this. They're probably not going to be able to, frankly. Hey ho. Now, we do have a bunch more information because a whole bunch of stuff has gone and been listed on the Pokemon Center, including both the Elite Trainer boxes. Yes, there are 2. But remember, this is a Paradox Pokemon set, like Paradox Rift was. So we've got an Ancient, and we've got a Future. And I kind of love what they've done here. Because if we have a quick look at the contents here, we can see that the Future brings us in an Iron Thorns promo, or 2 in the Pokemon Center exclusive, 1 stamped, 1 not. And the past one brings us in Fluttermane. And again, it's 1 in every Elite Trainer box, and then the stamped one in the Pokemon Center exclusive. But you'll notice that these are the 2 that I showed you yesterday. And we've had a couple of reveals in a row where they've not shown us the ETB promo, or, somebody's found it on a website or whatever. And this time around, maybe it's a coincidence, but yesterday they showed us the Elite Trainer box promos in Japan. And then today, they just give us the Elite Trainer boxes with the promos not hidden for the first time in a while. I'm just going out on a limb and saying, I don't think that's a coincidence. This actually seems to make perfect sense to me. And I've told you this before, but let me tell you again. We know that these are going to be super popular. We know that the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes are going to be selling out. So let's not muck about here. If you want these, pre-order them sooner rather than later. But the cool thing is, if we look at the back of the Elite Trainer box, we've got another description of the set which tells us a little bit more. The ranks of Ancient and Future Pokemon continue to grow. Walking Wake EX breaks free of the past alongside Raging Bolt EX, while Iron Leaves EX delivers high-tech justice with Iron Crown EX. Outside Area Zero, Wugtrio and Farigiraf ship types as Terra Pokemon EX, and Pokemon trainers everywhere prepare for the return of A-Spec cards with uniquely powerful effects. A Rupture in Time brings wild beasts and cyber visions to battle in the Pokémon TCG Scarlet and Violet Temporal Forces expansion. Still available for any voiceover that might need to be done. The point is, they've actually given it away there, because remember in the press release I told you that there were going to be exactly 2 type-shifted Terra Pokemon EXs. That's official, that was in the press release. We know this for an absolute fact. Well, the back of the Elite Trainer boxes tells us what they're going to be. They're going to be Wugtrio and Farigiraf, but they're type shifted, so that means we don't actually know what typing they're going to be. Could be any typing. That's a lie. It could be any typing as long as it's not their regular typing, because literally the entire point of type shifting them is that they have a different typing. It would be weird to type shift them to the same typing, and obviously that's literally impossible. That's not how language works. And then obviously with these Elite Trainer boxes, you get what you usually get. We know at this stage, this has been the case for a while, whereby you get, in the Pokemon Center exclusive, you just get 2 extra packs and a stamped promo in addition to the regular. Now, they've also gone and shown us all 4 of the booster pack artworks here, and it's not going to surprise anyone, they've gone Future and Ancient. So Future, we've got Iron Crown and Iron Leaves, and then Ancient, we've got Raging Bolt and Walking Wake. For what it's worth, I'm in love with Raging Bolt, both as a Pokemon and as a card. So any loose packs I pick up here, I'm going Raging Bolt every day of the week. We've also been shown the booster box, which gives us no extra information, but I thought I'd share it with you. And we've also been shown the booster bundle, which is your usual 6 packs for the price of 6 packs, which, as I've told you many times at this stage, in special sets where you can't just go and buy a booster box, these are actually amazing. In regular sets, they're fine, they're not bad, but there's nothing particularly special about them in normal sets. You pay for 6 packs, you get 6 packs. It's lovely, and I know some people like them, and I've opened some, and I enjoyed opening them, but let's be clear, from what I'm showing you today, it's the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes. Those are the cool ones that everybody's going to get super excited about, because those are the ones that have got the exclusive stamped promos in. And there we go. That's what you need to know at this stage. We have got another Paradox Pokemon set. It is going to be largely that Japanese double set, but it's also going to bring in the Koraidon and the Miraidon decks. To be clear, Koraidon and Miraidon are not confirmed. But again, if there's 7 A-Specs, they must be bringing in Master Ball from those decks, which means I would be stunned if they didn't bring in Koraidon and Miraidon. We know that A-Specs are coming back, and we know that everyone's just going to play Prime Catcher because that is by far the best one among them. And yeah, this one's looking fun, ladies and gentlemen. This one's looking fun. Usual deal like we get with a new set release. Over the next couple of days, we are going to get more information about it, and I will be here to share it with you. But for now, I need to get this video edited and go pick up my kids from school, so I want to hear from you guys. How excited are you for this set? Do you want another set featured around these Paradox Pokemon? Let me know, and what do you think about A-Specs as well? Let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Andy White, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to Andy for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.